Yes. Oh, well, we're gonna all come to a comfortable seated position. That might be the, traditional like Sukhasana shape. That's kind of like crisscross applesauce. No, you can face me. Okay. And I like to sit on a block. It just lifts the hips above the knees, so it takes any pressure off of the knees, but it also like slightly tilts the pelvis to make it easier to sit up tall when we're in this seated position to start. So try it if you like it. You can remove a block at any point in time, remembering that anything you're doing here, like you are in control. This is your body, your practice, your mat, your time, right? Everything that I'm going to speak to today is an offering or a suggestion, but if it doesn't jive with you, you get to do whatever you want. So, all right, from that comfortable seat, we're going to do some torso circles to start. So leaning forward and leaning back. And essentially what we're doing here is we're moving around the center. So a few times we might want to like really get into it, tuck the chin or open the heart. And then reversing to go in the opposite direction. And let these circles start bigger here. And let each circle be a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. Until you find yourself slowly coming to head over heart, heart over center. And once you arrive here, that centered point, so nice open line of energy through the torso. And then from here, big breath in to lift you tall through the crown of the head. And then exhale to soften the shoulders, soften the eyes, begin to melt in here. And start by bringing the awareness to the breath. Breath in through the nose. Breath out through the mouth or nose. And whether you're already set up or you're getting set up, bringing the awareness to the breath. Knowing that the term yoga, I believe, has 30-something definitions in Sanskrit, but the one that I choose, the one that resonates with me, is that yoga is the union of the mind, body, and breath. So if you are breathing in this space, you are, thumbs up, already practicing yoga. Everything else from here on out is just a gold star. So let's begin with grounding down into the breath. And begin to elongate the inhale and the exhale, drawing out that exhale until it is twice as long as the inhale. And this breath here is what lets the brain know that you're in a safe space, that the mind can soften, the muscles of the body can soften. Each exhale here, noticing a point in the body where you can soften 5% more. What are you coming to this practice with that you can already begin to let go of? No rushing, no right or wrong, just being here now, observing through the lens of non-judgment. Noting that Swami Kripalu said that the highest form of spiritual practice is self-observation through the lens of non-judgment. And then from your inhale, bring the breath all the way down to the bottom of the belly, feeling that belly expand out like a balloon on the inhale. And exhale, begin to squeeze every drop of that breath back out, tucking that belly button up and in. Inhale to feel that belly expand out. Exhale to feel the opposite gesture, a contraction. Continuing with this inhale to feel the belly expand. Perhaps this time inviting the breath up into the low ribs as well. And then exhaling back down to where the breath very first started at the bottom of the belly. Inhaling belly, perhaps up into the ribs, perhaps all the way up into the upper chest this time. And exhale to bring it back down to the bottom of the belly. So choosing here if you'd like to stick with belly breathing or the three-part Dirga breath of belly, ribs, and upper chest. Letting the breath begin to rewire the nervous system, the body. Each exhale, an opportunity to let go of something that you brought into this space today. Taking one more breath cycle here, biggest breath yet today. At the end of this exhale, bring a hand to the belly, a hand to the heart. Take a moment to set an intention for your practice, letting it be a foundation stone that you lay here. Perhaps something that you want to cultivate with you and bring out into the world at the end of this hour together. Once you've noted that thing, whatever it is that you'd like to cultivate or bring your awareness to, whisper it to yourself quietly 3 times, speaking it out into the world and into existence. When you're ready, taking that moment to check in with the self. What's shifted? What's inwardly already expanded or contracted? With some breath work, some intentional thoughts, some holding space for yourself and your experience. When you're ready, staying here for as long as you need to. Allow those eyes to flutter open. The arms are going to reach out side to side till the palms touch overhead, gaze lifts. Exhale, sliding the hands down to the heart, tucking the chin into chest. Inhale out and up, perhaps scooping up some of whatever that intention was. So that you can exhale, bring it down to the heart space. Let it in, chin to chest. 3 more of these sun breaths, following your own breath cycle, your own divine timing. Each breath cycle an opportunity to recommit to your intention for this practice. One more time. Inhale, the head comes all the way back through to center. One palm floats down to the earth. And inhale, reach the opposite hand up towards the ceiling. And then exhale out and over to the side. Inhale, roll that top shoulder back and lift the gaze. Another option here would be to bend at the elbow and bring the hand to the hip, as extending the arm deepens the stretch. So finding your sweet spot. Where can you feel this in a way that feels satisfying and nourishing to you? Pausing here for 2 more breath cycles. Big, deep, nourishing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth or nose. Inhale is going to pull you all the way up, back through to center. Other hand reaches towards the sky. And exhale out and over. Once again, using an inhale to roll that top shoulder back, lift the gaze. Noting that we roll that top shoulder as a counter gesture to sitting, driving, being at a desk, working at a computer, looking at your phone. So encouraging those shoulders to open up wide. Inhale, big breath in, pulls us all the way back through to center here. And exhale, twist and turn. One hand presses behind the sits bones, the other hand finds the outer edge of the opposite leg. And then turning to look back behind the shoulder here. Making sure the head is over heart, heart is over center. So not leaning left or right. Keeping that sense of center no matter what goes on around you. Pausing here for 2 more breath cycles. Inhale to come back through to center. And then exhale to float on over to the other side. Breathing deep. Perhaps taking a moment to call your intention back into the forefront of your consciousness. Inhale to unravel, unwind, coming back through to center. If you're sitting on a prop, you can scooch that out of the way. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together in front of us. And begin with a little foot massage. Just a little bit of self-love, self-care. So lovely when others can tend to our bodies and care for us. It's also so lovely when we can offer that to ourselves. If you find any points of tenderness, soreness, give that spot a little extra love. Working your way down the foot, making sure you're getting the tops of the feet as well, the heels, the ankles. Right? These feet carry you around all day, every day. With very little recognition for all that they do. So this is our time. Once those feet feel nice and loved on, you can bring the hands either to the shins or interlace the finger and wrap them around the toes. Inhale to sit up tall, lifting the crown, knees lift. Exhale, thighs come closer to the earth. It's a little flow. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften. Big breath in. Nice, long, slow breath out. One more time. Inhale to lift. This time, as you exhale, soften towards the earth. Pause and hold here. Another big breath in to lift through the crown once again. And exhale, begin to hinge forward. Nice flat back to start. So this might be a few inches, right? This is not like getting your head to the earth. This is maintaining that nice flat back here. Each exhale, an opportunity to see if you can make it another millimeter forward here, celebrating all progress on the mat. And then inhaling another big breath in. This time, exhale, allow the shoulders to round. How does this change the stretch? Hands can either walk forward on the mat or elbows can come out side to side. Breathing into the hips here. Strong and sturdy, smooth and graceful. Inhale, big breath in, walking the hands over towards the right side of the mat and breathing into the left side body here. And an inhale brings you back through to center. And exhaling out and over to the other side. Big deep breaths. Feeling cool air enter the nose on the inhale. Feeling warm air leave the body on the exhale. As we inhale, come back through to center and slowly roll up to a seated position. This time extending the left leg straight out in front. Sole of the right foot presses into that left inner thigh. Extended foot is nice and active as if it's pressed against a wall here. And inhale, turn and make sure you're squared to that foot here. And then let those arms lift to the sky. Exhale, nice flat back to start, right? Might be a few inches. Might get the head all the way to the knee. That would go for it if that's in your wheelhouse. And again, with each exhale, is there the opportunity to soften forward a little more while maintaining the integrity of the spine. Shoulders soften down the back body. Big breath in. And exhale, let yourself round, reaching those fingertips closer towards the toes, perhaps all the way to the toes. Pausing here in Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Breathing deep, feeling the earth beneath you, solid and sturdy, knowing that you have all the support you need to be successful in this space. Inhale, slowly rolling back up here. And come to the other side, right leg extends out, sole of that left foot pressing into the right inner thigh, squaring the hips to face that foot, and inhaling into lift, exhale to bow. On the next exhale, softening the muscles of the face, unfurrowing the brow line, unhinging the jaw, letting there be some space between the teeth. Tongue softens to the bottom of the mouth. Another big breath in. And exhale, let those shoulders round, reaching forward towards that foot. Hands can be anywhere that's comfortable on the legs or feet. And once again, whispering your intention to yourself. Inhaling as you begin to slowly rise, stacking vertebrae on vertebrae, and then rolling forward onto hands and feet. Knees stacked under hips, hands or fists stacked under shoulders. This is a great option if you have any sensitivity in the wrists, any carpal tunnel. Tucking that belly button up and in here, nice flat back, gaze gently on the earth in front of you. Inhale, drop the belly, open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, tuck that chin up, crown of the head drops towards the earth. Inhale to open the heart, tilt the pelvis, shoulder blades slide together. Exhale, round the spine, tuck that pelvis in, shoulder blades slide apart. Continuing with this flow of inhale to open. Exhale to come back to the self. Finding that balance between the outward gesture and the inward gesture. One more breath cycle here. Inhale to return to that tabletop shape here. And use that next in-breath to lift the right leg out to the side and make some circles here. Keeping your balance steady. If you find that you're weebling and wobbling side to side, try smaller circles. I like to live with the question of what can I do and do well? And then reverse going in the opposite direction. That knee drops down, and I use that next in-breath to come to the left side and making some circles. Slow and in control of these movements. And then reverse. That knee returns to the earth, walking the hands towards the front edge of the mat. Inhaling, big breath in, and exhale, melt the forehead down towards the earth. Hips stay above the knees. If the forehead doesn't come all the way to the earth on its own, then let's help it out a little. I'm just bringing the block and lifting the earth to you. Deep breaths here, breathing into the shoulder space, the armpits, the muscles of the chest, the shoulders, areas that we so regularly carry tension, deserve a little extra love and awareness. Inhaling, big breath in, sliding those hands back under the shoulders and pressing back up to tabletop. From here, inhale, open up that right arm, lift the sky. Then exhale, bring that right arm under the right shoulder all the way to the earth, right side is the face to the earth. Left hand can stay where it is or can extend out towards the front of the mat. Perhaps you'd like to lift that hand up towards the sky, deepening this stretch a little. Perhaps you'd like to keep the left hand where it is and extend the left leg straight out if you'd like to build a little more heat. Remembering that this is a gentle practice, so what does gentle mean to you right now? Big, deep breaths here. Once again, welcoming the support of the earth beneath you. Inhale, that left hand finds its beginnings place if it's not there already. And then activating the abdomen, pressing into that palm, returning back to that tabletop shape. From your inhale, the left hand reaches to the sky. And exhale, diving down to the earth, left shoulder, left side of the face, choosing what you'd like to explore with that right hand or right leg. Remembering we don't need to modify anything, it's just an option. You have an unlimited amount of options in this space. Pausing for 2 more breath cycles. Inhale, the right hand finds its beginning position, and then from there we press back up to tabletop. Knees together, feet together, melt the hips back and down for child's pose, or you can meet knees with edge of the mat, toes touching for extended child pose. Finding which one of these will better honor you in this moment and softening and surrendering for 4 breath cycles. Inhale, extending out through the crown of the head, slowly rising back up to that seated position and returning to tabletop for just a minute. From here, extend the right leg straight out, back and behind, and then exhale, bend that knee, step the foot all the way up and through between the palms, tuck the back toes under, and step the left foot up to meet the right foot, coming to a forward fold at the front of your mat. Allowing gravity to do its thing here. Hands come to the earth, a block, or can hug opposite elbows. Yogi's choice here. But the name of the game is allowing yourself to hang and feeling the backs of the legs opening. Option to walk those hands over towards the left side of the mat. Inhaling back through to center and taking that exhale on over to the right side of the mat. Inhale to come back through to center and slowly rolling up to a standing position. Stacking one vertebrae at a time. The head is the last thing to come upright. Beautiful. From here, coming into mountain, feet hip width distance apart, slight micro bend in the knees, thighs active and engaged, pulling towards each other. Zipping up through the core all the way to the crown of the head. And exhale to soften the shoulders, hands come out side to side, fingers active and engaged. Inhale, big breath in, the arms lift overhead till palms touch, gaze follows. Exhale to dive all the way down to the toes. Inhale, hands slide up to the knees, a halfway lift. Exhale, back down to the feet. Inhale, bend the knees, lift and rise high to the sky. Gaze follows the hands. And exhale, slide the hands down to the heart, gaze ahead. Big breath in, big breath out. Beautiful. Inhale to rise. Exhale to dive. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale back down to the toes. Inhale, bend the knees, lift and rise. And exhale to come back to the heart. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more time. Inhale to rise. Exhale to dive. Inhale, hands to knees. Exhale to return to the earth. Inhale, bend the knees, lift and rise. And exhale to come back to the heart. Big breath in. Big breath out. Standing at the top of the mat, your hands can stay where they are or come to the hips, and you're going to take a big step back about a leg's length with the left leg. Balancing on the ball of that back foot, front knee over front ankle, hips squared, so left hip pulls back, right hip pulls back, left hip comes forward, and inhale, the arms lift up and overhead into a warrior one. This can be a bit of a balancing pose, so it could be helpful to find a focal point on the wall, something that's not going to move even if you are. Pausing and holding here, finding that sense of strength and gentility. Sturdy and strong, but also soft. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, drop that foot to a 45 or 90 degree angle. And then opening up through the arms at shoulder height. Gaze goes over that front hand flips up. Ready for whatever is coming towards you. And then inhale, straighten that front leg. Arms reach up to touch. Exhale to soften. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften. A few more times. Breath and movement. Next time you exhale, soften and hold here. Making sure that front knee is over front ankle. If you look down, make sure you can still see your big toe. That's how you know everything's on the up and up. And always, always coming back to the breath, back to your intention. Inhale, big breath in, front hand lifts towards the sky, back hand comes to the back leg. Once again, pausing to breathe. Strong breath in. Nice, long, slow exhale out. Inhale to return to that warrior two shape. Straighten the front leg and begin to lean forward like you're just trying to get something out of reach. And once you've gone as far as you can, pivot just the arms. So we're not collapsing here. Hand is coming to touch somewhere inside that front leg. Gaze can be towards the earth, straight ahead, or lifted towards the sky. Pausing and holding here. You could always bend at the elbow, bring the hand to that hip if that would be more supportive to you in this moment. And then inhale to pinwheel all the way back up to warrior two. And take a big step up to return to mountain. Hand to belly, hand to heart. Eyes soften or close here. Big deep breaths. Checking in with yourself. What is going well in your practice? What can you celebrate about what's happened thus far on the mat? And what is something that you can observe through the lens of non-judgment that could be done differently? When you're ready, allowing those eyes to flutter open, hands can stay where they are, come to the hips, and take a big step back, about a leg's length with the right leg. Balancing on the ball of that back foot. If it feels unsturdy, look back at where the legs are. So think, rather than a tightrope, one foot behind the other, you want a little bit of space, more like railroad tracks. A little bit of space between where the left foot is in the mat and the right. Squaring those hips, so left hip pulls back, right hip comes forward. And from here, strong in the core, the arms lift up and overhead. Breathing deep here. Remembering that you have everything you need to be successful in this space. There is no right or wrong way to practice yoga, so long as you are breathing and honoring your body. The next exhale, soften the muscles of the face. Soften the shoulders down the back body. You got this. Inhaling, big breath in. Exhale, drop that back foot to a 45 or 90 degree angle. The arms drop to shoulder height. Turning to look over that front hand and flipping the hand up. From your inhale, straighten that leg out. Arms lift overhead. Exhale to soften back into that warrior two. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften. And one more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale, soften, pause, and hold here. Asking yourself with your next exhale, can you soften the body 5% more? What has been waiting this whole time to be released? And then inhale, front hand lifts, back hand comes to the back leg. Breathing deep here. Front knee stays over front ankle here. And breathing, always coming back to the breath. Inhale, big breath in, pulls you back to that warrior two shape, straightening out that front leg, and beginning to slide the arms forward, reaching. Once you've made it as far as you can, pivoting those arms. Hand comes to rest on the inside of that inner leg somewhere, choosing where you'd like the gaze on the earth, straight ahead, perhaps towards the ceiling. And breathing deep here. You have everything you need to be successful in this space. Inhale, big breath in, pulls you all the way back up to that warrior two shape, and then stepping up to the front of your mat, hand to belly, hand to heart, let the eyes soften or close. Give yourself a moment of introspection, of checking in with the self. Just imagine, what would life be like if we had these little moments to just pause and check in? How am I doing right now? And then when you're ready, let the eyes flutter open. Inhale to reach up high overhead. And exhale to dive all the way down to the toes once again. From here, inhale, hands up to heart. Sit back and down as if you're sitting in a chair. Pausing and holding here. Breathing deep. Feeling the body active and engaged. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale, straighten those knees forward, fold back to the toes. Asking yourself, does this forward fold feel different than the first one you took today? Feeling what happens when you stretch the body and are aware of these shifts, these changes. Inhale, slowly roll back up to a standing position once again. And this time, crossing the left foot over the right foot. So both feet are staying connected to the earth here. Inhaling to stand up nice and tall. Hands can come to the hips here. And exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips. So you might even come with the hands to the earth. They might stay on the hips. It might be a little bit, right? Remembering that the point here in our yoga practice is to find the edge where you can feel a stretch everywhere in the body, but not somewhere acutely as in pain. So if you find that you are teetering into the territory of pain, then you have permission to come up a little bit, to soften, to surrender and honor that experience. Inhale to slowly rise, coming back through to center. And coming to the other side. Inhaling to stand tall and lift. And exhale to hinge. Deciding how far you want to go in this moment, acknowledging that each side of the body has its own needs. Big deep breaths. And on the inhale, beginning to lift back through. From here, taking the right foot and coming onto the back top of the toes here. So the farther back the foot is, the deeper the stretch is going to be. So essentially you're stretching the top of the foot up into the shin here. Once again, that tending to the feet, so underappreciated in our society. And then coming onto the tops of those toes and circling the ankle in one direction. And then the other. Okay. And we'll come to the left foot now. So coming onto the tops of those toes, back and behind. Hands can be wherever they need to be, either for balance or, if you want to keep an Anjali Mudra, hands to heart. It's up to you. And then once again, coming onto the tops of those toes, circling in one direction. And then the other. All right, inhale, big breath in at the top of the mat, reaching those arms up, stretching wide. And exhale to dive all the way down to the toes. Bending the knees, taking a big step with the left foot and drop the knee down, and then the right. And we're gonna come to sit back on the heels here. So nice and tall, knees together, toes together. Head over heart, heart over center. Shoulders soften down the back body. Inhale to lift those hands in front of you at shoulder height. And exhale, rotate palms out, swim the hands back and behind, interlacing the fingers. Or if you have a strap, grabbing a strap and holding on to that. From here, big breath in, option to stay here as you are, or exhaling, beginning to melt the torso over the thighs, bringing the forehead to the mat or a block, arms lifting up, back and overhead here, pausing in yoga mudra, where the wisdom of the heart is elevated above the wisdom of the head. Another way to practice this is up on the knees and leaning down. So a few different options here. Whatever you're choosing, refocusing on the breath. Once again, 2 more breath cycles. Big breath in, big breath out. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, extend out through the crown of the head and begin to hinge back up from the hips, all the way back to seated. And then releasing the hands and letting them float back to the thighs. Pausing to experience that untingly sensation in the fingers. And then when you're ready, coming onto the sides of the hips, Pivoting the feet out in front of you. And we're gonna come to lay flat on the earth here. If you have a strap, you can keep that handy. You could also keep a block nearby. There is one more strap by the green blocks here in the front of the room if anybody wants them. And we're going to take the strap and wrap it around the feet, and we're going to extend the legs up. So if you don't have a strap, the strap essentially makes this easier to hold for a longer period of time. So if you don't have a strap, you can take a block and place that under the tailbone and lift the feet up. Honestly, it's easier with the block. So, yogi's choice here. Essentially, what we're doing is allowing the fluids of the legs to change direction. Gravity is a real thing. Like science has proven, the fluids will go down to the legs and feet, and they don't always come back up. So it's just one of those like tending to the body things of taking care. This could also be done legs up the wall. That's another really nice option. And if the class has felt extremely gentle to you and you'd like to build a little more heat, you can let go of the strap and also lift the arms. And that brings you into what we would call dead bug pose. Bend the left knee, extend that leg out straight on the earth, and now just have that right leg lifted. Same thing can be done if you're using a block. Perhaps you want to play with bringing that leg side to side here. Nice and slow, very gentle. This is more exploratory than anything else. What feels good? What happens when I? Keeping both shoulders rooted to the earth here and grounded. And then coming to switch sides. Your left foot makes its way back into the strap, right knee bends and extending it flat out to the earth. First hanging out with that left leg lifted. And then playing with moving that leg side to side if you like. When you're ready, you're done playing, you can bend that knee, place the strap to the side. And we're going to kick both feet up with the knees bent and catch the outer edges of our feet, or hands to shins, or peace fingers around the big toes. Coming into happy baby. You could gently rock side to side, you could straighten those legs out. Breathing into the hips here. And exhaling to soften any tension that might be hanging out there. And letting go of whatever hold you have and hugging those knees into chest as you gently rock side to side. From here, both feet drop down to the earth, left foot stays where it is, and we're going to pick up the right leg and drape it across the left thigh. So coming into a reclined figure four. You might find that this is a deep enough stretch for you today, or perhaps you lift that left foot up off the earth, bringing the calf to be parallel with the floor. Or perhaps interlace the fingers and bring them behind the left thigh, both feet nice and active here. Big breath in, exhale, soften the shoulders down towards the earth. Soften the muscles of the face, soften the mind. Bring all of your consciousness back to the breath for 4 breath cycles. Inhaling, big breath in. Exhale, lower that left foot if it's lifted. Unravel those legs, and now coming to the other side. So the right foot is on the earth, left foot is straight across the right thigh. Once again, checking in, acknowledging that each side of the body has its own needs. Is it appropriate on this side to lift the foot up off the earth? Knowing that if you try it out and it doesn't feel right, you can always lower it. Or perhaps you'd like to add on interlacing those fingers behind the right thigh. Whatever you're choosing, pause and hold here for 4 breath cycles. Inhaling, big breath in. Exhale to soften that foot down to the ground. Unraveling that leg. And bring the legs to be the width edge of the mat here. And windshield wiper the legs side to side. So first coming to one side of the mat and then the other. The next time those knees come through to center, pause here. Extend the right leg straight out, keeping that foot nice and active. Press into that left foot and shimmy the hips about 1.5 inches to the left. And then on an exhale, and bring that left knee over to the right side, coming into a supine twist. Once that right knee comes over, make sure that both shoulders are firmly rooted to the earth. If they're not, lift that left knee up a little bit. Extend the arms out side to side. And on an exhale, turn to look over the left shoulder. Pausing here and softening here. Knowing that twists are known for their power of letting go. So what is it that you would like to let go of that is hindering the journey of your intention? What is keeping you from actualizing that thought into reality? Inhale to bring the gaze to center, that left foot back down to the earth and pressing into it to realign the hips. And coming to the other side, left leg extended, foot active, pressing into the sole of the right foot to shimmy those hips a little to the right. And then on an exhale, that right knee comes over to the left side of the body. Shoulders firmly rooted, arms open, gaze turns to look in the opposite direction of the knee. Pausing here. Inhaling to bring knee to center, gaze to center. Pressing that right foot into the earth to realign the hips. And this time, bring the soles of the feet to touch. Knees come out side to side, so similar to what we did seated at the very beginning of practice. A hand can come to the belly and the heart, or we can have hands, palms up side to side in a V shape. And softening here. Acknowledging that we're almost to the end of practice. So what would it be like to whisper that intention to yourself 3 more times? Taking a moment to celebrate everything that you've accomplished here today. Celebrating everything you did to get here today. Taking a moment to honor everything you did prior to being here today. What a gift this thing called life is. And then as you're ready, you can begin to move towards a Shavasana shape, or you can stay in this shape if you would prefer. Yogi's choice. What's going to help you soften and relax the most here is this final resting pose. If you're choosing the traditional Shavasana shape, that's legs extended out, feet softened, palms up. If you find that you experience discomfort in the low back in this shape, you can try bending the knees and bringing the feet to be the width edge of the mat, making the low back flush with the earth, and then allowing the knees to fall in towards each other. If the back isn't an option for you, then the side might be a nice option. And then once you're here, once you've found your spot that you can soften and surrender into, take a big breath in through the nose, and sigh out of the mouth. 2 more of those. Big breath in. Last one before drifting into Shavasana. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes. Making your way slowly onto the left side, curled up in a little ball. Left arm becomes a pillow for the head. Right palm pressing into the earth in front of the chest. Bringing the organs into alignment after having brought the muscles of the body into alignment. The breath and mind into alignment. And pausing here for one last breath. Big breath in. Big breath out. And when you're ready, no rush, gently making your way up to a comfortable seated position. We'll close the class as we always do with 3 Oms. You're welcome to join in, you're welcome to listen. Big breath in. My wish for you on this day and every single day that follows is peace of body, peace of heart, peace of mind. Thank you for joining today.